Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the council meeting of October 15, 2019. We have two sets of minutes to approve. We have the special call meeting of September 12th, 2019. Can I have approval on that?
Motion approved.
And a vote, please. Thank you. And we had a council meeting of September 17th. Getting a little bit of buzzing. I wonder what that is.
See if Mayor's microphone ready?
I'm trying to.
Another one?
Maybe. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, approval of the minutes of September 17th, 2019. Can I have a motion? Okay, and a second, please?
Second.
Okay.
Which one? Dwight or Dick?
We'll do it with Dwight this time, just spread it around. And the vote, please. Thank you. All right, we need a public hearing on the 2019 property millage rate. Could you start off by telling us about the millage rate numbers?
This year's millage rate, the rollback millage rate is 4.193. From last year was 4.855. And also this year, the property value has increased by $5 million, almost $6 million, the value. So, if anybody has any questions, it's open for.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public hearing, so you're welcome to ask questions, make comments.
I didn't get the last part. It was 4.193, and then now it's what now?
No, this year is 4.193. Last year was 4.355.
Okay, thank you.
If we take our current millage rate, it will actually increase tax. It will actually cost the customer more money. If we lower the millage rate to, the recommended number, then we'll have the same amount of actual currency coming in. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns about this? Okay, in which case I'm going to take us out of public hearing. Old business?
Old business, we have the veto item of relocation of Statham Police Department.
council voted on this last month. The mayor vetoed it, provided notice to the council. It's back, pursuant to our charter, it's back on the agenda. In order to pass the matter over the mayor's veto, you need 4 affirmative votes. It's just, be a motion, a second, and then
In which case, what it is, the mayor vetoed the vote to move the police here and City Hall over to there. Well, you'll have to ask him. And you said it's gonna take all 3 voting
there's
together.
4 affirmative votes.
Okay, we don't have 4 affirmative votes, because I'm chairing today, so. So should we move on to the next item?
If someone wants to make a motion, I mean, you can have a motion and vote. I mean, it's basically it's that.
It's really relevant, at least till next month.
Yeah, I do a motion that we move this item to next month, the April, because we don't finish the coalition report.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and a vote, please. Okay, well, we have voted to move it to next month.
I'm not sure that's proper under the charter. The charter requires that it be presented at the next regular meeting of the council. And so,
Okay.
I'll take a look at it and let you, I mean, I understand the vote, and I will let council know next month whether it's proper for it to be on another agenda.
Okay, thank you. New business, please.
We have the 2019 property tax millage rate, where it's one of the millage rate, so we need your approval to approve the millage rate or not.
Okay, can we have a motion on the 2019 property tax millage rate?
I'll make the motion
To do which?
to approve the property tax millage rate.
Yeah, but you have to specify, are we going to stay with the current millage rate, which would actually be an increase in tax? Or-
No, the one that's proposed.
The 4.193?
Yeah.
Okay. Because the original sheet gave us both options, so that's okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so,
It's like the 4.193.
Yes.
all right, and he's second. Patty. Okay, can I have a vote on that? Okay, unanimous.
Next,
Water agreement with water, with Winder.
next we have the water agreement with the city of Weimar, and like last week when I went over the rates, they are willing to sell us 150,000 per day, and the first 30,000 would be at $1, and then anything over the 30,000 would be at $3.50 per thousand gallons.
So that's a considerable
Yes.
reduction in rate as compared to the county.
Yes, it is. And this would also reduce our bill from Darrow County, which we are paying at a high rate, and we've been buying from them several months now.
Very good. I'd like to have a motion on the water agreement in Winder.
I'll make the motion, we approve the water agreement with Winder.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Can I have a vote on that, please? That's unanimous. And then the pillar award. Have we,
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last Thursday. Did you guys come up with recommendations on some names that we could select for the Pillar Award?
Well, we didn't come up with a person, but we did come up with an organization. We wasn't sure if that can work.
and which organization is that?
The Lions Club.
The Lions Club. Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure they could do
about
the
that.
club, but it
Because
could
they,
be.
yeah, they can give it to a person, individual.
And would you want to give it to the president of that chapter, or?
Well, we thought that they do so much for people that not able to, and glasses, even for children in school whose parents are not able to afford license, maybe we could do something for that.
If this is one particular chapter, you might be able to give it to the president of the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gail, who's the president of the Lions Club?
Mike,
Mike Gentry? Okay.
he is.
So would you like to
You
do
nominate
it?
Mike Gentry.
Okay. What's the last name, Hampton?
Gentry.
Okay.
Okay, that's noted.
All right. So was that in the form of a motion?
Okay, I'll be alone.
Okay. Did you want to?
I'll second it.
Okay, can I have a vote on that? Thank you, it's unanimous, please. Okay, concerned citizens, Joe Piper, please.
Hi, I'm Joe Piper. I live out in Cali Lane, 459 Cali Lane. And I talked last Thursday about the water leak up here on Broad Street. And I ran into Mr. Pear and Sam, and I guess that is expected to part Friday. I believe Sam told me. And they will be getting that in ASAP. The only thing I can add to it is if the part doesn't come in, or if we can't get the valve for that particular hydrant, then I would recommend that we replace the hydrant. It might cost us a few dollars.
It's not the hydrant, it's the box that's attached to the hydrant.
Okay.
It's a device that's designed to purge the water a certain amount each evening.
It's a flush box.
It's a flush box.
But it's not shutting off.
And, well, it's not, it's got a little leak is what it is.
Yeah.
But it's actually higher later on at night.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, I estimated it between 5 and 10 gallons a minute. And so over a course of 7 months, that's 1.5 million gallons that we've lost. That's a lot of water. So
fun calculations. What else do we have?
that's it. I just want to keep an eye on it. Thank you.
I have a question about it. How hard is it to get that, piece?
It has to be made, and so it takes a while to get it. So it's on order. All right, Gary Venable. Tree committee business.
Good evening. We went over this several times now. I want to kind of bring it back to you since this is a voting meeting. We have several items that I'm here representing the tree committee about. The first item is the tree removal easement that we read at 2 previous meetings. The tree committee has asked that the last line of the tree removal easement be removed. It says, I hereby release and waive any claims that I may have against the city, its officers, agents, and employees, whether such claims are known or unknown arising from the removal of the tree. And we're here to ask for you guys to vote to remove that.
We'll need to have our attorneys to review it.
This is our third.
Okay, have you reviewed it to review?
I mean, as I said last month, it's up to you all. You all can do it. I recommend against it. When we do that kind of thing, it just seems that there needs to be that waiver in there. You take care of it through insurance. I think you all said that you wouldn't use city fortune to do those kind of things. We want you to hire a contractor, which is usually insured. But that being said, it's up to the council.
And it is up to the council. My concern is that we don't want to remove, if there's question as to who actually owns the tree, if it's, whether it's on city property, city easement, or on the homeowner's property, we don't want to completely remove it, in my opinion. I'm just one person, and I'm not even voting today. But we have to be very cautious that if the tree was dropped. Now, what we did say last month was that we would always use a contractor and require them to be insured.
Right, and we're asking that to be put in writing as well, which is the second one. But to get back to your point on this, if the tree is on private property, the city should not be removed in any way. I don't think that's necessarily legal, so that needs to be decided before the tree is ever dropped. And to me, and this is me speaking personally, not for the tree committee, but this is akin to me cutting a tree down on my property and then asking you to sign a waiver that the tree, if the tree falls on your house or your property or your child or wife or what have you, I'm asking you to relieve me of all liability. I personally disagree with it. I think the tree committee disagrees with having this in there as well. And again, if it's a tree that's on the property line, the city should go to great lengths to determine that the tree is actually belongs to the city before we ever cut it.
Is it appropriate to put motions forward during citizens' concerns?
You all remove the agenda to do that.
We're allowed to.
I just want to make sure that y'all.
Is there someone who wants to, go ahead, Thomas.
The genesis of this was is that there, as I indicated, I don't know if it was last month or 2 months ago, we had a tree fall on a car several years ago, and there are some trees around the city that if they do fall, they're going to fall in right of way. They may be on private property, but they will fall in right of way. And so we can't, unless we were to condemn the tree, we couldn't force the homeowner to allow us to take it down, hence the easement to allow us to take it down to make this right of way safe. There are other situations where, without spending a whole lot of money on a surveyor and a title examiner, because of conflicts among deeds as to the widths of roads, it's difficult to tell whether the tree is on public property or private property. And again, out of an abundance of caution, to have the property owner assuming, for sake of argument, that it's on their property, again, asking them if they agree to it, then having them sign this easement and remove the tree.
Would it be, would the problem be compounded by, if you had a, like a 4-foot wide tree trunk and the easement drawings appear to go somewhere through that tree? There would be questions as to whether or not the tree is in the easement on the property, the owner's property.
That's the concern. Eventually, ultimately, the concern was is that trees falling on right of way and damaging cars or hurting or killing people.
Here's the way out, very simple. If the city cut a tree and it fell on your house, would you not hold the city responsible for that tree? I mean, to me, it's very simple. I would feel the city responsible for that tree.
That was the one reason that we contested the last line of this agreement, was that the wording of it was, it's not right what we're asking the citizens to waive their rights. Basically, we're giving the city or the city's contractors permission to do whatever they want.
Well, I think the problem will
Let
be
me
solved
finish.
by the second item.
So if we do the second item, then the problem we solve is we can take this out of the easement altogether. I think everybody would agree to that. If we put it in writing that every tree vendor contractor has to be licensed, bonded, insured, what have you, then there should be no argument with taking this out of the tree removal easement, because at that point, the liability is on that.
We're covered.
Okay, so does that,
Right,
would that not
Thomas?
solve the problem, Thomas?
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean you're not going to get sued.
Sure, but then the suit would actually go against the
No,
contractor.
the city, if the city would be sued, would, my recommendation, again, you do what you want, my recommendation is remove the word agents, so that, and leave it as officers and employees only. Those, the claims against city officers and employees of the city, there's no claims against them, but they would be able to sue the city subcontractor or contractor, who will now be required to be licensed and bonded.
Would you like to make a motion on that?
So, one more time, Thomas, what are you suggesting that?
I'm suggesting you leave the waiver language in there, but remove the word agents. Because having the word agents in there would potentially protect a contractor. So that the waiver is only against the city's officers and employees, and then any liability would fall on the contractor who actually did the work and through either negligence or recklessness would have damaged someone's
So-
property.
What does that do? That just striking out the line, the last line altogether?
What it
I'm
does is,
confused as if the city has insurance to conduct its business and whatever the city does on any given day. We're digging, we're cutting down trees, we're doing the maintenance on the city, we're doing the maintenance on the roads. If the city's insured, and any contractors the city has to come and perform any work are insured, what are we asking the citizens to waive? I don't understand, because generally speaking, the city can get sued for anything. We all know that. We can get sued for anything. Somebody could trip and fall, somebody could, So I don't understand why we can't just strike it out and be done with it, because it doesn't, it doesn't serve any purpose.
if you'd like to make a motion, you're welcome to.
I make the motion that we strike the last line.
Please, can I ask a question?
Yes,
Gary, is this on city property?
This is any particular tree, not just one individual tree.
Oh, you
It's a hypothetical.
So if you had a tree that was on the city's right of way, okay, and the city come out to cut it down, they would ask you to sign the city plan.
Not if we could do the work without going on private property.
So essentially, so what the city attorney is saying is that if they come on private property, they have to get your tree to cut it down. And at that point, if you don't sign this, they're potentially going to cut it down.
And if you
So-
strike that final line, also the city is responsible for.
If you do sign it, then the tree falls in your house, you just release you sign a waiver releasing the rights to hold the city responsible. Now, let's not forget, right, we're here as a government, is to represent the people,
well,
not to necessarily always protect the city is the people. So
that's why I didn't like the wording, was because it didn't protect the citizens from the city and this, and what we were doing. The city goes on the private property all the time to conduct its business. Case in point, any type of sewer lines or, the city is constantly going on to city property to do its business, every single day. So, are we making everyone that the city goes onto their property sign a waiver? Why not?
This is only particular with regard to removal of trees.
Why?
And the point is that the trees that are being removed are the limited few that have been identified as sick and ill trees that have to be removed. So, but anyway, we have a motion to remove the final sentence. We have a second.
Stepping fees and for me.
Can I, we don't have a second.
Gary, do you have a copy of it? Yeah,
right here.
can you read it?
Sure. It says tree removal easement. I, with blank, am the owner of the property located at blank, Statham, Georgia. There is a large tree depicted in Exhibit A located in the area that appears to be my yard, but may be in the right of way for a street. I hereby agree that the city of Statham may remove said tree and dispose of the tree at the city's pit. I hereby convey a temporary work easement for the city or its contractor to come on my property and remove said tree. This is the last time we're asking to be taken out. I hereby release and waive any claims that I may have against the city, its officers, agents, and employees, whether such claims are known or unknown arising from the removal of the tree. This blank day of blank 2019 with a signature and a printed name. Whenever I have a contractor come on my property to remove a tree or to cut limbs, I do not have to sign a waiver releasing him of all claims. It's not right. That's all I have to say about it. It's not right.
Definitely not right.
Question, who's paying for the removal?
The city. In this case, if the city takes a tree down, that means it has to be a city tree, which means the city would take it, would incur the cost, which means the city should incur the liability. I would have a strong problem having to sign this, knowing that a tree could fall on my property. I just don't think it's right, guys.
Now, you understand that actually an easement, the city doesn't own
You don't,
the owner of the property owns the land, so the tree still
No.
belongs.
That's wrong.
the tree belongs to the city, otherwise the city should be taking the tree down.
Thomas,
Yes.
an easement is the right to use property, but the property still belongs to the original owner. Is that correct?
Again, all this document was ever intended to do is convey a temporary easement for the city to go on and remove trees that may be on private property that created a danger to the city's right.
But am I correct that an easement is just the right to use a piece of, for the city to use the property? The city doesn't own the property. The owner. It's right of way. But still, it's the right of way to use that land, yeah. But the land still belongs to the property owner.
No, it doesn't.
Yes.
You go in garden use.
Okay, once again, let's ask the attorney.
It's a temporary work easement. It's a temporary easement that expires when the work is done.
And so the tree does not belong to the city. The tree belongs to the property. The city is responsible for keeping safety. So if the tree is likely to fall on the road or somewhere else, and those trees that are being identified to be cut are dangerous trees because they've reached the end of their life. And if they're not taken down, they will fall on people's homes and stuff. Now, I think that if you try to solve it by your second item, we'll be able to move much better than just trying to solve the other way. Now, let's try to make it so that the trees are going to be taken by professional contractors.
I definitely understand what you're saying, Mr. Barton, but I respectfully disagree because, and I understand what the city attorney is saying, his job is to protect the city, and I get that. But again, I don't believe that the city should be in the business of cutting trees for private properties. If they are, they should be doing it. And if this is a city tree, I don't believe that the city should make people sign a waiver in order to take it down. Whether it's easement or not, but I know there's a lack of a second, but that's
In
not.
which case, we've had a motion.
Sure.
We have not had a second. Does anybody want to give a second? Okay, we have to move on to the second
Sure,
motion.
we'll revisit in January. The second one is to have any tree contract for a vendor, to have language in there to make sure that they're licensed, bonded, and insured. Previously, we did not have that in there, it was verbal only according to your city administrator. So at the very least, if you can't and refuse to take this out of your easement, then please put it in writing.
Do I have a motion?
Could you read that again?
We're asking that you have in writing a contract so that any tree vendor that's taking down any limbs or trees or otherwise, make sure that it's in writing that they have to be licensed, bonded, or insured.
And I personally think that's what. Can I have a motion on that?
I'll make the motion.
And the motion is to make it so that if a tree is going to be removed, it needs to be done by an insured professional contractor. Okay. Do we have a second?
Yes,
Okay.
Was that a motion for
Can I have a
value?
vote, please? Okay.
Okay, now,
I'll draw
wait a
a
minute,
contract
stop.
to deal with that.
Thank you very much.
Now, can we look at the insurance, relying on the insurance of the contractor
That's what that was.
and go and revisit the line item and strike out that, because if we're gonna use contractors, the city isn't taking out trees anymore.
What?
So if we're using contractors, why wouldn't the contractor's insurance be sufficient? If in fact, it's the contractor's insurance is checked before they begin any work.
There might be occasions that a city worker will be working on a tree that is away from homes and such, cars and such, that we don't want to limit ourselves by saying, it's up to y'all, but I think it might be a mistake to say that they can't cut down any tree. It has to
We're not
be.
cutting down any
I feel you.
The city isn't cutting down
Okay,
any trees.
make a motion if you'd like to.
It says we have a tree over in the park, side by side. I don't see a problem with city workers. It's not gonna do any
I
damage.
agree.
But if it's on city property, the city isn't gonna sue itself.
But we don't need to get a contractor
No.
to take one down that's out somewhere and have to pay when our workers can do that.
Right.
They're taking
We
down
shouldn't
a lot.
box ourselves into only using contractors. Only contractors that is near homes,
Right.
so.
So we wouldn't need, if we're cutting down our own tree, we wouldn't need any waiver. Right?
Do you have any more for your?
Yes. Just for informational purposes, I spoke about this last meeting.